All right, guys, welcome back to another recap video. So, we're going to go over the series that I ran in season 3 and take a look at what I'm going to be running in season 4. Also, as we do a recap over season 3, I'll kind of give you an idea of what I thought of the series, what I thought of the cars, and so forth. So, let's go ahead and get into it. We started the season. First series we ran was the Porsche Cup Fixed. As you can see, we lost a total of 98. I actually have a loss of 102, so apparently my numbers are off. But we did make 24 races, ran a full season, all 12 weeks, 2 races each week. Um, it It was a good fun series. I enjoy the series. I enjoy the car. I had a very slow start to the beginning of the season. It took me about 4 weeks before I really got comfortable with the car. First 3 weeks of races, um, I didn't necessarily struggle. I just didn't have any speed. Um, I was finding myself in a very high strength field races. I don't know if they were the weekly strength of field races, but it sure seemed that way. It can be a very challenging car to drive with no ABS, no traction control. I did at the beginning of the season. I had issues with braking consistency. I modified the software on my brake pedal, and it seemed to help. Um, some guys, not you don't really have a whole lot of trouble locking the brakes up. I didn't change my software because I was locking the brakes up. Sometimes I'd go in the corner and I wouldn't apply enough brake, or I would apply too much brake. I was always afraid to lock the front tires up, and occasionally I would. Um, so I made the adjustment to help more or less my brain. Um, it really helped. I think the second or the third race was at Zolder. Um, I made the change for the second race there, and it really helped, although I still screwed up the race and self-spun and had all kinds of issues. But it's I enjoyed it. I really did. The car was fun. Um, I didn't lose as much iRating as I thought I was going to. I really thought I was going to lose a lot more. Um, I feel my iRating is like, oh, it's right there on the screen. Over 3,000. I kind of feel that's higher than it probably should be, but only losing 98 iRating in this car in this series um, was really good. So I did get below 3,000. I was able to get it back above 3,000. So um, it gives me some confidence when I get around to the GT3s that maybe it won't be as bad as I'm expecting it to be. But normally, when I lose iRating, I don't revisit the series unless it is popular. I have a kind of a threshold that these series have to make, and this series was very popular on the channel. Appreciate all of those who tuned in, subscribed um, for this series. And that being said, it was very popular again, and it made the list to revisit at some point in time. So um, as long as this series ranks high on the viewer list, then yeah, I'll come back to it again. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. So I do recommend this series. It's a very popular series. We finished 189th in Division 2, and didn't make the top 100. But in order to make the top 100, you had to score over 1,000 points in 8 weeks. I was surprised we scored 879 or somewhere around there. So we averaged over 100 points a race. We had some weeks in there that were very good. So yeah, so 189th out of 20,000, over 20,000. That's how many people race this series. Granted, they don't race it every week, but still, very popular series. Very, you sometimes get quite a bit of splits. I don't know. We never had a single split, I don't believe. But yeah, I know a lot of guys try to get through their license so they can race this series, and after running it, I understand why. So, anyways, enough about that. We'll move on. The second series I ran, we actually started the season in the dirt pro late models. We ran, I'll say, a week and a half, because I ran the first 2 weeks, ran 2 races, ran the first race the second week, and when it comes to those cars, I suck. I could run 6 laps and have no issues, and then all of a sudden on the 7th lap, I couldn't get it to turn. I really struggled the second week in that first race. Didn't matter what I did to the software, my wheel. I had no confidence that the car was going to turn, and because of that, I didn't want to be a tool and ruin other people's races. So I know it takes a little while to get comfortable with a vehicle, with a new car, with a new series. But when you can't get the car to turn, you get really frustrated, and then it makes it harder. So I didn't want to be that guy. So we stopped. We dropped the dirt. In fact, going forward, I actually had the UMP on my list. I had the super late model. I think it's a super, limited pro and super. I had that on my list. I'm not going to run those cars. I just really struggle on dirt with anything that's got a fender if it's not the street stock. But we'll get to that one later. So as for new dirt series, I don't have any on the horizon anymore. I've got some dirt series that I will revisit, and at this point in time, that's about it, unless they come out with something new. But they're not really doing a whole lot on the dirt side anyways, so I don't think we're going to be missing much. So I replaced that with the Super Formula Fixed. Now we finished. That was 189th in my division on the Porsche Cup. So we finished. I only ran 12 races in this series because, one, I got started late. There was one race, Fuji. I have a time limit that I set for myself. Every series I run, every track I run, I couldn't meet it at Fuji. Kept spinning, had all kinds of issues. It was going to be the first full week in this car. This car is very powerful. There's very easy to spin the tires. First and second, you can't give it any full throttle until third gear, and that's even about halfway through third gear. So the car is very fast. It is a lot of fun to drive. And I really struggled at Fuji. And again, I didn't want to be that guy. So I really didn't get started in this series until week 4. But it is a fun car to drive. Now, we did lose 157 iRating. I had a few good races, not very many. I'm just not that fast in Formula cars. But that being said, I lost iRating. It's not that popular of a series on this channel. So I will not be revisiting this. Now, this is the fixed. At some point in time, I do want to run the open, and the reason I'll run the open, this is a B class series, and the open is longer. So to me, in the past, the D and the C, if there was an open and a fixed, I'd run the fixed only. I wouldn't run the open because there's no change with the exception of the setup. The races are the same length, but when you get into the B and the A class races, there is a difference in length, and I think the longer races just make for a different race. Guys can burn out their tires. I mean, there were some races in the fixed where I was very few, but there were some races in the fixed where if I had a few more laps, I think I could have gained one more position. So we'll give it a go down the road. But as for the fixed, we're not going to revisit this one. Again, I lost iRating, which is normal. Eventually, my iRating will come down to a point where I can be competitive. I find myself in first split with second split speed. So it has come down enough to where I have, what's the word I'm looking for? I end up with a higher number. So I'm not losing as much iRating as I was to begin the season. But this car is a lot of fun, though. I will say that. It's just not that popular on the channel. So I don't see a point in really revisiting this series. So anyways, we'll move on to our third series. And this is where I was going to talk about the street stock. So I only ran 2 races. I attempted 5 times. 3 of those races didn't make. You guys only saw 1 race because the second race that I actually did make was a complete disaster. It was a single split, 16 of us, which was one of the bigger fields out of the 5 because 3 of them didn't make. But it was bigger than the one that did make, that I did run. And I only got 8 laps in before I got involved in an incident. And it would have taken longer for me to edit the video because I do edit the dirt races when they have heat races, and this one the street stocks do. It would have taken me longer to edit the video than the video was going to be long. So I didn't post that one. Very disappointed in the street stocks. I think it is more popular during the week, even though 2 of the races I tried to do were in the middle of the week, in the evenings. Neither one of those made. I can't remember what week that was. When we ran this as a new series, we probably, being this one, we probably ran on a Wednesday and a Thursday. We got a lot more races in, but iRacing did change from every 2 hours to every hour. I forgot to look at the new schedule to see if they've reverted back to every 2 hours. Let's see. I'm going to jump on here and see if I can't find the schedule. The preliminary schedule is out at this point in time. Let's see if they're still ruined this series. Let's see here. It is every hour. So to me, they've still ruined it. If they change it back to every 2 hours, I think it will. We'll go back to having splits. That's what it was when I raced it. But with the hourly change, they've, I think, killed it. Because being a third series, I do run Saturday mornings, Saturday evenings, afternoons. It's hard to find a race then. So I will not be revisiting this series again, unfortunately. When we ran it in 2024, it was a lot of fun. Had some good close races, but because I can't just jump on and a race happens, then there's no point in me wasting time on practicing and all of that. So unfortunate. I like the street stocks, but this one will be dropped from my list to revisit. So the only other thing I got going on is when we did not run that 1 week at Fuji in the Super Formulas, we did race at Gateway in the fixed trucks, and we gained 32 iRating between those two races. One race was a wreck fest, and the other race went green completely. So the trucks are always fun. The fixed can be hit or miss. It's very short sprint races, and they tend to race that way. But trucks are always fun to run. So, and that's kind of pretty much everything I ran for season 3. So, looking ahead at season 4, we are going to start off. Let me pull up another sheet here. We're going to start off in the LMP3 Trophy Series, and we are going to run the Soldiers Angels scheme: red, white, and blue. Blue base, white with some red chrome. This car is available on Trading Paints without the Broken A Motorsports branding. So any of you guys want to run this scheme or any of the others that I have on Trading Paints, I post quite a bit. I don't remember how many I've got on there, but I'm always adding to it. So, but this is going to be the first series we're going to run. It's going to be my entry into the prototypes. So, and being this is just going to be the trophy series, so single class, we're not going to have to worry about trying to learn this car with a bunch of different class being on the track. Granted, when we run this in the GT4 series, it will be the faster car, so shouldn't have too much of an issue. But anyways, LMP3 Trophy, that is going to be the first race of the week, Mondays and Tuesdays planned. But that could always change depending on what comes up. So the second series that we are going to run is going to be the IndyCar Oval Fixed. So we are going to run the Heroes Care scheme on this car. So this is a white base, red with blue chrome. This car also is on Trading Paints without the Broken A Motorsports. All my cars that are posted for others to use do not have Broken A Motorsports or the YouTube logo. I normally have something in their place. But so this car I actually had on there. I painted this car prior to the update where they had the road, the short oval, and the speedway bodies. This is the speedway. What changes really is the wing and the front wing, rear and front wing on the speedway. Short oval, the front wing is different compared to the road. Everything else is pretty much the same. So But because these changed, I did revisit and update this paint scheme. Made some changes. So, but the IndyCar Oval fixed, that is what we're going to be running for our second series. And then for our third series that we revisit, it is probably the worst series that I run or that I have run when it comes to average gain loss and iRating per race. And if I can find it here, that is the Super Formula Lights. So we are going to revisit this series. It was popular just enough to make the list to revisit. And I use a random generator to determine what series I'm going to revisit. And this popped up. So we're going to run the Honor Foundation, which is gray base, blue, dark blue, really navy blue. And even though it looks white, that is actually a chrome. It's not 100% chrome, but it does have a chrome aspect to it. So we are going to revisit. I really struggled with this car on the, to me, I like a car that has some understeer. This has more of an I like a car that has an oversteer. This has more of an understeer. It really pushes on corner exit. So I'll be aware of that this time, and I'll just have to kind of adjust my driving style for it. But that is going to be our third series. And then we will also still be running the Samsoid Oval League on Thursday nights. That has been popular. The paint scheme, I missed week 1 this past week because I was busy. But for that series, we did change the paint scheme up. And we are going to be running America's Vet Dogs, black, red, and a little bit of chrome. And this is going to be for the next, however long the season is, 12 weeks, 11 weeks. This is what we're going to be running in the Samsoid Oval League. So that is what we're going to be running this upcoming season. Looking forward to it. Really looking forward to the LMP3. And as well as the IndyCar Oval. I've been waiting on the IndyCar Oval. I wanted to run that series and kind of get used to that car before I even attempted the Indy 500. So I'll be attempting that next year, probably the fixed version of that. But yeah, looking forward to the new season. Hope you guys are too. Hope you all like this video, and hope to see you guys out on track. So if you like what you see, hit that like, subscribe button down below. It really helps out the channel, guys. I really would appreciate that. And as always, guys, I will see y'all in the next one.